Millions of people ignore the critical warning signs their bodies are desperately trying to send. The frightening truth is that burnout and anxiety disorders have quietly become one of the most dangerous epidemics of our time. Yet most people don't realize they're standing inches away from collapse. As a doctor with over 30 years of experience, I've seen patients with failing hearts, weak lungs, even chronic pain. But nothing terrifies me more than watching a healthy person slowly lose control of their own mind and body until one day they break. I know, because I was one of them. In this video, we're going to uncover the 13 early warning signs that your body and mind are in danger, the hidden symptoms that whisper before they scream. These are the signs of a nervous system pushed beyond its limit, slowly preparing for a severe panic crisis. Before we start, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button now. Why? Because this channel is on a mission to bring you real science-based insights about mental health, burnout, and emotional recovery. The kind of information that could literally save your life, or the life of someone you love. Now, let's make sure everyone recognizes the early signs before it's too late. Here are the 13 silent signs your body is headed toward a panic collapse. Sign 13. Constant fatigue that no rest can fix. You wake up exhausted, even after sleeping through the night. Your body feels heavy, your limbs ache, and your mind drags behind everything you do. Coffee doesn't help. It only delays the crash. This isn't normal tiredness. It's the nervous system stuck in survival mode. When cortisol and adrenaline stay elevated for weeks or months, your body loses the ability to recharge. It's like leaving the lights on all night, every night. Eventually, the power runs out. You start thinking, maybe I just need a vacation. But vacations don't help, because the problem isn't your schedule. It's your system. Chronic fatigue is your body's first cry for help. Sign 12. Unexplained muscle tension and body pain. Your neck hurts, your back tightens, your jaw aches as if you've been clenching for hours. You tell yourself it's bad posture, but deep down, you know it's stress buried in the muscles. Prolonged tension releases inflammatory chemicals that keep the body in a constant fight-or-flight state. This is why massage, stretching, or even medication give only temporary relief, because the real issue isn't physical strain, it's emotional overload. If your body feels like armor, rigid, protective, and ready for battle, that's not strength. That's the early stage of collapse. Sign 11. Racing thoughts that never stop. You can't silence your mind. Even when you're resting, your thoughts spin in endless circles. Work, bills, mistakes, what-ifs, everything you should have done differently. The brain under chronic stress becomes addicted to adrenaline. It mistakes anxiety for alertness. Over time, this rewires your neurons to stay on, even in silence. That's why lying in bed feels like being chased. Your mind keeps running, even when your body can't. If you're thinking all the time and resting never feels peaceful anymore, it's not overthinking. It's the early wave of burnout. Sign 10. Shortness of breath for no clear reason. You climb a few stairs and suddenly can't breathe. Your chest feels tight, as if someone placed a heavy weight on it. You think it might be your heart, but tests come back normal. This is what we call panic-related dyspnea, when the body believes danger is near and restricts airflow to prepare for survival. It's the same biological reaction as running from a predator, except the threat is invisible. Every time you suppress emotions, that energy stays trapped. Eventually, your lungs begin to speak the words your mouth refuses to say. Sign 9. Digestive chaos. Heartburn, nausea, bloating, loss of appetite, or the opposite, eating just to feel calm. The gut is lined with over 100 million nerve cells, often called the second brain. When your mind is anxious, your stomach listens first. Chronic stress lowers digestive enzymes, slows metabolism, and floods the gut with acid. That's why many people in burnout are misdiagnosed with gastritis or IBS when the true cause is emotional overload. If food suddenly feels heavy, or your stomach twists for no reason, your body is sending you a message your mind won't hear. Sign 8. Frequent dizziness or lightheadedness. You stand up too quickly and the world spins. You feel waves of weakness like your body can't stabilize. This happens when stress hormones raise your heart rate and deplete blood flow to the brain. It's your nervous system trying to protect vital organs by redistributing energy, but it feels like you're losing control. For many, this is the first moment of panic, the dizzy rush that convinces you something is seriously wrong. But it's not the end. It's your body begging you to slow down. Sign 7. Emotional detachment and numbness. You stop caring about things you used to love. Music doesn't move you, movies don't make you cry, and laughter feels forced. You start living on autopilot, performing daily tasks like a robot while feeling completely disconnected inside. This isn't laziness or depression alone, it's the nervous system shutting down feelings to conserve energy. When your body can't handle more emotion, it turns the volume off completely. And while emotional numbness feels like relief at first, it's the calm before the storm. Sign 6. Uncontrollable irritability and bursts of anger. You snap at loved ones for no reason. You curse in traffic, slam doors, or feel rage over small inconveniences. This isn't about bad manners, it's a brain that's out of balance. Chronic stress depletes serotonin and increases adrenaline, which means every tiny frustration feels like an attack. If you've ever heard yourself say, "I don't even recognize who I'm becoming," that's your warning bell. The mind is losing regulation, and the panic phase is getting closer. Most people ignore these first 6 signs, assuming they're just stress. But what comes next is far more dangerous. The point where burnout crosses into breakdown and panic begins to take over your entire physiology. That's what we'll uncover in the next part, when the mind stops asking for help and the body starts screaming. Sign 5. Sleep that feels like it's working against you. You lie down exhausted, hoping to escape into rest, but the moment your eyes close, your mind turns on. Your heart begins to race, your thoughts flood in, and you feel trapped between fatigue and fear. You count the hours, 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 4:30 a.m., until the alarm rings and you face another day already drained. This isn't insomnia. It's your body refusing to lower its guard. When the brain is locked in alert mode, it believes danger is constant, even in bed. Sleep stops being recovery and becomes surveillance, the body's desperate attempt to stay safe from an invisible threat. And when you wake up after those restless nights, you don't feel rested, you feel defeated. This is one of the final warnings that your system is approaching collapse. Sign 4. A constant, unshakable sense of danger. You can't explain it, but something always feels off. You're doing everyday things, driving, talking, walking, and suddenly your chest tightens. You scan the room, but there's no danger, no noise, no reason, yet your body reacts as if your life depends on escaping. This is called hypervigilance, the phase where your brain becomes addicted to adrenaline. It mistakes peace for risk, calm for danger, silence for threat. At this point, your nervous system is like a smoke detector stuck on high sensitivity. It alarms even when there's no fire, and living in constant alertness doesn't protect you, it destroys you from the inside out. Sign 3. Panic that takes control of your entire body. It usually happens once, and it changes everything. You're doing something ordinary when it hits. Your heart pounds violently, your chest tightens, you can't breathe. The air feels thick, and your vision begins to blur. You're sure this is a heart attack. You rush to the ER. But after countless tests, the doctor looks at you and says, "Your heart is fine." You're experiencing a panic attack. The words don't make sense, because what you felt was real. Your body wasn't imagining it. It was fighting a war it thought it was losing. A panic attack is the body's emergency shutdown, the nervous system's way of saying enough. It's not in your head, it's in your chemistry. Your body floods with stress hormones, cutting oxygen, tightening muscles, distorting your vision, everything designed to survive a threat that doesn't exist. And afterward, you're left terrified it will happen again. That fear alone is enough to trigger another one. Sign 2. Pretending to be fine while everything inside you is falling apart. This is the most deceptive stage, the mask phase. You keep functioning, showing up to work, taking care of others, doing what you must. People even compliment your strength, but what they don't see is that you're running on empty. Inside, you're exhausted, shaky, and detached. You go through conversations without remembering them. You answer questions with automatic smiles. You say I'm fine because it's easier than explaining the chaos happening inside your chest. At this stage, burnout has merged with anxiety. The body is completely out of sync. Your heart races when you're still. Your thoughts race when you're silent, and no amount of rest seems to make a difference. This isn't weakness. It's your system begging for permission to stop. Sign 1. The collapse. It comes without warning. A normal morning, a normal task, and suddenly, your body decides it can't do it anymore. For me, it happened in my office. I'd been working long hours, skipping meals, ignoring headaches, brushing off fatigue. Then, while reviewing a chart, everything changed. My heart exploded in my chest. I couldn't breathe. My vision blurred. The floor felt like it was moving. I thought, this is the end. But it wasn't a heart attack. It was a full-scale panic crisis, the final stage of chronic burnout. My nervous system had been running at maximum speed for too long, and it finally crashed. The paramedics said my vitals were stable, but I felt anything but fine. That's when I realized the human body doesn't break down overnight. It warns you, quietly, for months, even years, until you ignore it long enough that it screams. The recovery. Learning to listen again. After that day, I couldn't return to my old life. I had to rebuild from the inside out. The first step wasn't medication or therapy, it was awareness. I started paying attention to small things, my breathing, my posture, my pulse. Each one told a story of how disconnected I'd become from myself. Then came the second step, permission. Permission to rest, to say no, to stop pretending I could handle everything alone. At first, rest felt uncomfortable, almost painful. My body didn't trust it. But over time, stillness stopped feeling like danger. It began to feel like healing. I learned that you can't cure burnout with more effort. You cure it by rebuilding safety inside your body. How healing really works. The panic didn't vanish overnight, but slowly, it changed. Each time I felt it rise, instead of fighting it, I breathed through it. Because panic feeds on resistance. The more you fight it, the stronger it becomes. The moment you stop running from it, it begins to lose power. And as I accepted that truth, the attacks became less frequent, less violent. I stopped being afraid of my own heartbeat. It wasn't the enemy. It was a reminder that I was still alive. What your body wants you to know. If you're watching this and you feel like you're losing control, if your chest tightens for no reason, if sleep feels impossible, if you wake up already tired and afraid, this message is for you. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're just tired of surviving. Your body isn't betraying you. It's protecting you the only way it knows. How? By forcing you to stop before you destroy yourself. When you start listening, the symptoms begin to calm. When you create space for rest, your body begins to trust again. That's not instant recovery. That's the beginning of real healing. The truth about panic and burnout. Most people think burnout is just being tired, or panic is all in your head. But that's wrong. They're physiological, real chemical and neurological reactions to chronic stress. Ignoring them doesn't make you strong. It makes you sick. The longer you wait, the louder the body has to scream. If this message reached you at the right time, remember, you're not alone. Every person who looks perfectly fine on the outside could be fighting a silent war inside. And sometimes, all it takes to start healing is admitting, I can't do this alone anymore. That moment isn't defeat. It's awakening. So, take a deep breath. Slow down. And give your body the same care you've been giving to everyone else. Because healing isn't about going back to who you were before the burnout. It's about becoming someone who never ignores those warning signs again. If you found this video helpful, hit like and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe for more real, science-based insights on burnout, anxiety, and emotional health. Because understanding your body is the first step toward recovery.